Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to unpack a fascinating biological mystery that is literally holding you up right this second. Today, we're looking at why walking became so efficient. To kick things off, I want you to do something really simple. If you're standing, or honestly, even if you're just sitting, direct your attention all the way down to your feet. Take a second to focus on your own body because it sets up this incredible anatomical puzzle. Seriously, think about it. How many adjustments are your ankles making right now? Without you even having to think about it, you are balancing on two remarkably small points of contact with the ground. Your ankles are making thousands of tiny, rapid-fire adjustments every single minute just to keep you upright. Your spine is curving in a shape no other ape on Earth has. And the crazy part? You never consciously learned how to do any of this. It really shows just how strange our anatomy truly is. Just think about a chimpanzee's foot for a second. It features this grasping thumb-like big toe, right? It basically acts like a hand to grip tree branches safely, but yours doesn't. Somewhere down the line, our predecessors traded the safety of those lush forest canopies for the incredibly dangerous open ground. And when they did, that grasping toe locked into a rigid line. Your foot was entirely rewired from a grasping hand into a rigid, lever-like machine. And that single change, it rewired literally everything above it. So why the big switch? That brings us to Section 1, brains did not come first. To understand this, we've got to look back to a massive turning point in 1974. Down in a dry riverbed in Ethiopia, a paleoanthropologist named Donald Johanson stumbled on a skeleton totally unlike anything we'd seen before. He named her Lucy. Now, Lucy was tiny, barely over a meter tall, and possessed a brain not much bigger than a chimpanzee's. But her pelvis and her knee joint, they told a completely different story. They proved unequivocally that she walked completely upright. And the timeline here is what's truly mind-blowing. Over 3 million years ago, Lucy is strutting around fully upright on two legs. It wasn't until millions of years later that large brains actually emerged. And complex tools and language, those came even later than that. It completely shatters this old-school assumption that walking on two legs was just some convenient side effect of getting smarter. Actually, scratch that. Walking upright came first, period. Millions of years before our ancestors were doing anything you'd recognize as human thinking. So if a big brain didn't push us onto two legs, what exactly did? Let's get into Section 2, the math of walking. It all really comes down to a hard, undeniable number, 4x. A brilliant scientist named Herman Poncer spent years actually measuring the energy cost of walking, using treadmills, oxygen masks, the whole shebang. And what his research proved is that human walking on two legs is remarkably cheap. On the flip side, a chimpanzee walking on four knuckles burns roughly 4 times more energy for the exact same distance. 4 times. To put that into perspective, imagine your daily commute suddenly costing 4 times as much in gas. You'd feel that economic drain immediately, right? Well, your ancestors felt it too, but they were paying in calories. As the lush forests started shrinking and these massive open grasslands expanded, food and water got really spread out. Traveling farther on fewer calories wasn't just some neat evolutionary party trick. It was absolute survival math. But, evolution is rarely ever a one-issue kind of deal. This brings us to Section 3, stacking the survival pressures. Take biologist Peter Wheeler's theory on heat, for example. Picture a sun-blasted savanna right at midday. A 4-legged animal is basically exposing its entire back to that punishing direct sun. But a 2-legged animal, standing upright means only your head and shoulders are getting hit by those direct rays. Plus, being taller means you catch the cooler breeze higher off that intensely hot ground. Wheeler actually calculated that this simple posture shift cuts solar heat gain by well over half. And it gets even wilder when you factor in our internal AC system. 2 million sweat glands and 0 fur. You see, upright posture and our unique cooling system of sweat glands evolved together as a package deal. Sweating only really works efficiently if you aren't baking under the direct sun for hours on end. Because of this combo, early humans could stay super active and hunt during the absolute blistering heat of the day. Exactly when top predators like lions and hyenas were forced to go sleep in the shade. But wait, there's another totally brilliant piece to this puzzle. It's called the provisioning hypothesis. Researcher C. Owen Lovejoy noticed that Lucy's species didn't have those large, dagger-like male canine teeth that other primates use to aggressively fight over mates. This points to a massive social shift. Lovejoy's controversial but super fascinating idea is that hands were freed up so males could actually carry food back to mates and offspring, instead of just using their hands to fight. A male who could reliably deliver food vastly increased the survival odds of his own kids. So when you pull back, it brilliantly synthesizes into this one massive package deal. We've got heat management, giving us cooler midday foraging. We've got energy efficiency, letting us travel way farther on fewer calories. And we have social provisioning, freeing up our hands to carry resources back to the family. It wasn't just one thing. It was 100 tiny evolutionary pressures, all pointing in the exact same direction, working over millions of years to permanently alter the human frame. So what did all these stacked pressures actually do to our physical bodies? Well, we got some major hardware updates. First, the pelvis. It got shorter and more bowl-like to vertically support your organs. Then, the spine. It developed this forward lower curve called lordosis, which is literally engineered to stack your center of gravity perfectly over your hips when you stand. And finally, the foot. Like we talked about, that big toe locked perfectly in line to give us a highly stable, powerful push-off point with every single stride. Which brings us to our final section, built for a lost world. Have you ever wondered why sitting still for 8 hours just feels so inherently wrong? It's because your body is still running on hardware meticulously built for a hot savanna and long-distance foraging. That annoying lower back pain you get after a long day at the office? That is quite literally the price of taking a spinal curve, flawlessly engineered for walking miles across open grasslands, and awkwardly folding it into a screen-lit office chair. Your joints, your spine, your circulation, they all fundamentally assume you're going to be upright and moving. I want to leave you with this really powerful thought. Motion and survival were the same activity. Think about how you instinctively pace back and forth when you're stressed or trying to solve a tough problem, or that undeniable urge you get to just go for a walk to clear your head. That isn't some modern coping habit. That is 3 million years of evolutionary instructions firing in your brain, quietly reminding you that you were never, ever built to sit still. You are, quite literally, an animal built to think best in motion. So the next time you feel that irresistible urge to pace, ask yourself, what other ancient instructions is your body still following today?